And a very good Monday morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Joe Benigno back with you again, the Oda Pain Podcast. Monday, October 27th, 2025. The Oda Pain Podcast brought to you by our good friends at Manscaped, by Anita Discount Tire, and of course, our good friends at the Carolina Resort Vacation. The Mangold Miracle. That's exactly what my good friend Jake Asman called this yesterday. And that's what we're going to dub it right now. The Mangold Miracle, as the Jets stun everybody with an unbelievable 39-38 come-from-behind victory against the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati to get their first win of the year, the first win in the Aaron Glenn era. Unbelievable. What else to say? What a crazy week this was. You start out with all the stuff after the Carolina game. You know, Fields gets benched at halftime, the whole deal. Taylor comes in, doesn't play great, throws a couple picks, whatever. But all the speculation that Tyrod Taylor was going to be a starting quarterback this week. And Glenn, of course, is, he's not telling us who the quarterback is, of course. And then the owner, Woody Johnson, comes out and basically throws Justin Fields right under the bus, rips him. Can we complete a forward pass? And da-da-da-da-da. And unbelievable, right? And then eventually we find out, supposedly anyway, that Tyrod Taylor is hurt. Fields is going to start. I kind of think that, look, there were 30 million reasons, guaranteed reasons why Fields was going to start in this game, not to mention that that's Aaron Glenn's guy. But all of that said, if you think Woody Johnson, what he said, now, whether he meant to do this or not, and I probably not. I don't know if Woody's, if he's smart enough to do that. I don't know. He can't be too stupid, can he? But anyway, you can't tell me that did not light a major fire, not only under Fields, but under the team itself when he ripped Justin Fields the way he did. Let's be honest about it. That lit a fire under this team. No question. Now, it helped that Quincy Williams came back, no doubt, and that he didn't have Sauce Gardner. They didn't have Garrett Wilson, and they put up 39 points. Unbelievable. I mean, where do we start? Fields was phenomenal. But I think the real stars of this football game, as good a game as Fields had, as good a game as Isaiah Davis had, as good a game as Breece Hall had, right? And by the way, okay, this idea of trading Breece Hall is ridiculous. Well, seriously, I heard, and I love my buddy JJ, and we know he's a Dolphin fan, okay? He's no Jet fan, all right? And he comes out this morning, and I got to get on you, bro. He comes out this morning on Sports Night and says, no, you trade high now on Breece Hall. You're going to get a juicy package. My ass, you're getting a juicy package. What are you getting, a fourth-round draft choice? Come on. So we're going to trade, really, a guy who really is one of the best backs in football, because he is. And you know that if he wound up in Kansas City or Pittsburgh or one of these kind of teams, that he'll be Saquon Barkley on his already stamping his Hall of Fame plaque already. No doubt about it. I'm not trading him. No, you try to work out a contract in the offseason, and then you franchise him, and then you go from there. That's what you do. You got a young player, right? That's a top player, really, one of the top players at his position, right? He has his best game of his career as a Jet yesterday, and you're going to trade him for a fourth-round pick or some crap like that for something that's a complete crapshoot who the hell knows what you're getting? Come on. Give me a break, JJ, and give me a break, everybody that wants to deal him. And if you were watching the post-game show yesterday with Bart and Willie and all those guys, none of them want to trade Breece Hall. And that would be a big mistake. Big mistake. But that said, Hall had a phenomenal game yesterday. Like I said, probably his best game as a Jet. Rushed for 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, had that crazy touchdown that he tightrope down the sideline on. And then winds up throwing a game-winning touchdown pass on an option pass to Mason Taylor, where he double pumps it and hits him in the back of the end zone. Unbelievable. Just so many things in this game, right? Even the kid Isaiah Williams had a really good game. Tyler Johnson had a good game, caught a touchdown pass on a fourth down throw from Fields, where he had a guy right in his face, and Fields couldn't have put it there any better in the first half, But the star of this game was the offensive line. I mean, they were phenomenal. This is what we expected to see from this offensive line when they drafted Fassanu last year in the first round, when they drafted Membo this year in the first round, right? with Tipman, with Simpson, with this is what we expected. And the offensive line yesterday was unbelievable. They didn't touch Justin Fields in this game. They rushed for 254 yards in this football game. 254. What? You rush for 254 yards in an NFL game, you're winning, 75, 80% of the time, maybe more. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm sure they're way, way, way up there. So I want to give credit to how I thought was really the stars of the game, and that was the offensive line. They played a phenomenal football game. But, unreal. And look, Glenn made mistakes in this game. Go to the first time early in the game. They're down 3-0. Cincinnati drives down the field, but they hold them to a field goal. 3-0 score at that point. The Jets have a 4th and 1 on their own, maybe 30, 35-yard line, whatever it was. And I'm all for going for it. I like it. We're 0-7. What's the difference? Let's go for the freaking first down. But the play call, you pitch the ball to Brees 3 yards in the backfield, and of course he gets stopped. Where was the quarterback sneak? Now, my buddy Tommy Keenan this morning called me to tell me that really it was Fields who actually audibled out of it. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But whatever. But, come on. I thought that was a terrible call. And then later on, when they're down 10-0, they get a nice drive down the field. Now they got a 4th and 1 again inside the 10-yard line. Go for it. And he kicks a field goal. So that bothered me. Okay, those are two things that bothered me in this game. But I called it the Mangold Miracle today. And that's not, I really didn't call it. I say Jake Asman called that. It's a great call. Great name. When I got up this morning, we all heard last week about Nick Mangold and the fact that he needed a donor for a kidney transplant. Nobody knew the situation with Nick or anything that he even had any issue. And then Kenny Scarabaggio calls me yesterday morning about 11 o'clock to tell me Mangold passed away. And let's be honest, before I get into any more of the game, Nick Mangold, one of the great Jets of all time. I'll never forget, Evan and I, we were doing our show from the Radio City when the draft was in New York every year. And I guess it was back in 2006. And that was the draft with Reggie Bush, with Vince Young, Weiner, and all these guys, big name guys that were in this draft. And we're sitting there like, oh. And with the 4th pick, which the Jets had, they take DeBrickashaw Ferguson. And we're like, really? You're taking an offensive tackle? Come on. And then at the end of the first round, they had another first-round pick. They drafted Nick Mangold out of Ohio State, the center. And even though we weren't crazy about it, that turned out to be one of the best drafts the Jets ever had. We got our left tackle and our center for basically 10 years, as those guys were, were the keys to an offensive line that really probably the glory days of Jet football outside of January 12th, 1969. Really. Unbelievable. Mangold and DeBrickashaw. DeBrickashaw never missed a game in 10 years, and Mangold was just a rock at center. And, now he's up for the Hall of Fame. He was nominated. Got to put him in, don't you? He passed away. Got to put him in. He's one of the great centers of all time. He's every bit as good as the great Kevin Mawai, who's in the Hall of Fame. Mangold's every bit as good. He played on a lot of winning teams. Those back-to-back AFC championship teams championship game teams that the Jets had. He's got to get in. To me, he's, and there's not a lot of centers in the Hall of Fame. There's a few, right? Jim Ringo, Mike Webster, Dwight Stevenson, Jim Langer. Who else am I missing that's in there? Mawai, he's in there. There's not a lot of centers that are in the Hall of Fame. That's a very, very, DeMonte Dawson, very, very short list. Mangold should be in there. No doubt. I want to see him get in Canton this coming summer. We can only hope that that's going to be the case because he should be there. He's one of the great Jets of all time. He's only 41 years old. What a tremendous guy. Leaves behind a great family, 4 kids, a wife, the whole deal. Obviously, he's in the Ring of Honor. I had my Mangold jersey on yesterday, and I think there was a lot of karma from Nick Mangold yesterday that helped us get through and win this football game. Yep. So, what else can I say about him? Unbelievable. But getting back to the game, what else can you say? But there were some bad things. The fourth downs, I wasn't thrilled about that. But how many big fourth downs did the Jets hit in this game? The touchdown pass to Tyler Johnson was on a 4th and 2 with a guy right in Fields' face. He hit a 4th down, first down play to Rucker. How about that play down the sideline? Jeremy Rucker caught one pass all day, went for about 35 yards. That was a huge play in the game. And how about the 2-point conversions in this game, right? And both times, I'm like, what are you doing? The first 2-point conversion, what was the score at the point? I'm trying to think what the score was. 30. All right, the score, they scored a touchdown. I guess it was the first of the 2 Breece Hall touchdowns, right? They scored a touchdown to make it 31-22. And I'm like, okay, kick the extra point because you're 8 points back, but you're still only 1 score back. You're still only a touchdown and a 2-point conversion back. Now, at some point, you got to go for 2 when you're down 15. But Glenn goes for 2. I couldn't believe he was doing it. I wasn't happy about it. And Justin Fields makes an unbelievable play. They were going to throw the ball. He gets away from the pressure, gets outside, and runs it in for the 2-point conversion to make it 31-24. Then the second 2-point conversion, again, and now it's 38-30 is the score of the game. That was the second Breece Hall touchdown where he tight-roped the sideline to get in for the touchdown, right? 38-30. I'm like, okay, just kick the extra point. You're down 7. I couldn't believe it. He goes for 2. And how about the play that Fields makes on this 2-point conversion, right? He's under pressure, gets away from the pressure. He gets hit. As he's going down, he throws the ball. He hits Isaiah Davis initially right at the goal line. Initially, the officials say it's an incomplete pass. But you see the replay, Davis caught it. And then when you look at the replay again, as they reviewed it, you could see that Davis, the ball actually touched the goal line. All you got to do is touch the goal line. Any part of the ball touches that white goal line, it's a touchdown. And you could, it's good. In this case, a 2-point conversion. You could see that the ball was on the goal line, right? And they review it, and it's good. Oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he went for 2 there. And that, you're delirious when he does this, and that gives the Jets the lead, right? I mean, that made it. I'm sorry, that made it 38. That tied the game. I guess it wasn't 38-38 at that point. Whatever the score was, 31-31, whatever it was. The Bengals eventually take the lead again. No, that made it 38-32. I'm all over the place with it. It was such a crazy game. That made it 38-32, and then the Jets eventually stop them, and then eventually win the game on that drive, and then Hall throwing the option pass to Mason Taylor in the back of the end zone when he double clutches it and then makes the catch over the defender, goes up over the defender to make the catch, his first ever career touchdown. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable that they won this football game. And now I want to see some wins. All right? And how about the defense? And let me just say this too. So they take the lead 39-38, right? There's still like a minute and 40 seconds left. And the Bengals have 3 timeouts. And every Jet fan I know, certainly me, all I could see was 49-39 Bengals, right? You could see it right there. There it is, 41-39. You know the Bengals are going to come down and win the game with a field goal, right? That's what every Jet fan, I certainly was, everybody I know was thinking that. And they stop him on 4 downs. And Zach Taylor actually runs the ball on first down. What was that? I know you got 3 timeouts. You run the ball on first down? And I think they either lost a yard or got nothing on that run. And then the Jets make the stop, and it was the guy Brownlee, who's been a good player for them since they got him, making the break up to end the game. Oh, my God. I mean, just unbelievable that they won this football game. And I want to see wins now. They got to bye this week. Then they play the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are no world beater. They got hammered yesterday by the Patriots. Can you believe the Patriots are 6-2? What a disgrace. Bless you, darling. Yeah, start sneezing when I talk about them. Vrabel and May. What a disaster. Can you believe they're freaking 6-2? They hammered the Browns yesterday. There's no reason that the Jets coming off the bye, and I want to see them ready to roll at the Meadowlands, can't beat the Cleveland Browns. They got 9 games to play. My wife's going to go on a sneezing run now. They got 9 games to play, right? I want to see some wins. How about going out and winning 5 games? Can you do that? How about going 5-4 at the end of the year? You got the Browns, you got the Dolphins, you got the Saints, you got the Falcons. You got winnable games. Dare I say, can they beat the goddamn Patriots once? Unbelievable. So I want to see them, and they're still going to get a high draft. They're not winning any more than 5 or 6 games max. They're still going to get a high draft choice. My wife continues to sneeze-a-thon. I mean, it's unbelievable. Can we win some games now? Like I said, they're still going to get a high draft choice. They're still going to get their shot at the quarterback. I want to win games. There's no reason that they can't. All right, we'll continue on. Let's get the spots in here. Got to start out with Manscaped. You know how I feel about Manscaped. I've been talking about this for a long time. It's time to step up your grooming game. Not just down below, not just with the family jewel area, not just with that illusion of extra inches, but now you want to get your face where everybody sees. And there's nothing that can make my face look good, But the face shaving products from Manscaped are the ultimate grooming tools designed to deliver precision and comfort in sleek and easy-to-use devices. Come on. Whether you're looking for a trim, a shape, a detailed touch-up, if you want to really do your face, then you got to go get plastic surgery. You don't want to do that. You want to use Manscaped. Manscaped, leave that for the ladies. Manscaped face shaving products are built to handle shaving your face with ease. Crafted for efficiency and a perfect addition to your grooming arsenal. You can use the code PAIN, P-A-I-N, not J-E-T-S, for 15% off your entire order at manscaped.com. The Handyman is a sleek, powerful, compact face shaver that helps you ditch the mess. Cordless and designed for convenience, it easily fits in your bathroom drawer or slips into an overnight or gym bag for easy grooming on the go. Unbelievable. Get it. And Manscaped, you know about the lawnmower for down below. Oh, my God. If you got 5 inches, it'll look like you got 7. So, you want to make sure you get the lawnmower 2.0 for down below, the Handyman for up top, right? You got underwear that you get from Manscaped. You got the shampoo and conditioner. You can even use it as a body wash. Tremendous. Manscaped. Love it. The Handyman and the Chairman and the lawnmower. Tell them Benigno sent you. And again, join the over 12 million men who trust Manscaped and upgrade to the Handyman Rocket Man. You can use the code PAIN, 15% off your order at manscaped.com. 50% off your free shipping with the code PAIN at manscaped.com. Don't miss out. Upgrade your grooming game with Manscaped today. Get it freaking done. All right. Now, if you need work done on your car, you need tires, you need your car inspected, go see Johnny and his great boss Harry at Anita Discount Tire in beautiful Rivervale, New Jersey on Westwood Avenue. They got it all there. Rob, one of the great mechanics there is. Anytime that we need something with our car, we're going there and they get it done for us. The Anita Discount Tire, Westwood Avenue, Rivervale, New Jersey. Tell them Joe B sent you. Sorry about your Saints getting whacked yesterday by the Bucks, Johnny. And then, last but certainly not least, the Carolina Resort Vacation. You're looking for the perfect vacation spot? Check out Carolina Resort Vacation, OBLV Unit 2 in beautiful North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They got it all. 5 spacious bedrooms, each with a private en-suite bathroom. Very convenient. A fully stocked kitchen, ready for family meals or group kicking. Not kicking. Well, you could have group kicking nights, too. Or group cooking nights. Arcade-style gaming table with 150-plus classic games. Smart TVs in every room. Entertainment for everyone. Steps from the beach, minutes from the Barefoot Landing, the mini golf, Ripley's Aquarium, and the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk, and, of course, all the great golf courses down there. The unit is freshly renovated, spotless and spacious, perfect for family trips, group getaways, or relaxing retreat by the ocean. Whether you're soaking up the sun, exploring the local attractions, or just enjoying time together, OBLV Unit 2, Carolina Resort Vacation, makes every trip unforgettable. North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 843-249-6509. Online at CarolinaResortRealty.com. To learn more and start planning your trip today, 843-249-6509. Carolina Resort Vacation. All right, Benigno and the The Pain podcast. All right, so we're still delirious over the Jet win yesterday. And like I said, I want to win games now. They got a schedule where they're playing. Like I said, I mentioned some of the teams. There's no reason this team can't go on. Can you give me 5-4 the rest of the year? 9 games to play. How about 5-4? And if they finish, that would make them what? 6-11. If you finish 6-11, you're still getting a high draft choice. You're getting a top 10 pick without a doubt. I want to see some good football. Obviously, Fields is going to be the quarterback. Can I see the offensive line? And I know Cincinnati's defense stinks, and their best pass rusher was hurt in the game. He was in and out, and he wound up leaving the game and all of that. So I get all of that, but I want to see this now going forward. Go beat the Cleveland Browns. They're not any good. They're starting a rookie quarterback. I know they got a good defense. I understand Myles Garrett and all that, but no reason we can't do some damage against them. And isn't this crazy? This has got to be two of the craziest stats there is. Here we are. We're a 1-7 football team. We have not had we only got forced 1 turnover all year. We have not had no turnovers yesterday again, right? Either team turned the ball over. Neither of them did. No turnovers again yesterday. And they have not had, now through 8 games, not 1 interception this year have the Jets had, right? And how about this? On the other side, Justin Fields, as bad as he's been, he's played 2 good games, Pittsburgh and yesterday, as bad as he's been overall, has not thrown an interception. Think about that. The starting quarterback hasn't thrown an interception in 8 games. He's played 7. He hasn't played 8. He didn't play in the Tampa game. And the defense has not intercepted a pass. They almost had one yesterday, the rookie Thomas, but he stepped out of bounds and didn't reestablish himself before he caught the ball. He tried, but he didn't, on a ball that was tipped on the sideline. But even those guys, they did the Jet game plan. I know Thomas got beat on the 1 touchdown by T. Higgins, right? Which at the time made it 17-3, and everybody we all thought it was just going to be a complete blowout. I mean, right? Everybody, I certainly did. I thought this game was going to be 35-6, to be very honest. But anyway, the game plan was to keep, Chase and Higgins underneath. Even if Chase caught a lot of passes, he really didn't do any damage in the game. And then at the end, there was Brownlee to break it up on the last play of the game on the 4th and 10. So give the coaching staff credit for a really good game plan and try to, even though they scored 38 freaking points on us in this game, which was no surprise. And the defense, let's be honest, the defensive line is not any good. I'm tired of hearing about Jermaine Johnson. How about Quinnen Williams? You want to trade somebody? Trade him. I seriously. Does he ever do it? Does he ever get to the quarterback? Does he ever make an impact play, this guy? Does he ever do what we saw Dexter Lawrence for the Giants do a couple weeks ago against the Chargers when he batted the ball in the air and intercepted it and ran it for about 40 yards? Do you ever see Quinnen Williams make a play like that? Ever? Has he ever? Never. And what does he do yesterday? On a 3rd and 4, he jumps offside to give him a first down. 3rd and 4, jumps offside. And I believe they eventually scored a touchdown off of that too. I mean, come on. I mean, Jermaine Johnson, did he get near the court? They had 1 sack in the game, and it was a big one. I think it was the next to last drive of the game, right before the Jets got the ball to take the lead, the drive that eventually won them the game. I guess it was 38-32 at the time. And Will McDonald, who was a no-show the rest of the game, actually sacked Flacco to end on a 3rd down to get off the field. That was one of the big plays in the game. It's the only sack in the whole game. Even Fields, they didn't touch Fields the whole game. Fields was untouched. And going back to how great the offensive line played yesterday. They played off the charts yesterday. But the defensive line, I mean, come on. Give me a break. Sherwood had a nice pass breakup. I thought Quincy Williams played good yesterday. And give the secondary credit. Without Sauce Gardner, they hung in there. Even though Cincinnati put up 38 on them. So, what are you going to do? You got to be happy. You're a Jet fan today. You got to be. And now, like I said, I want to win games. I want to win freaking football games. Can we do that? Like I said, go 5-4 the rest of the way, and I'll be happy, right? When you take that as a Jet fan, and I don't want to hear lose out. No, I don't want to hear that bullshit. All right. and look, I can only pray. I would sign today if Justin Fields turned out to be their quarterback for the next 10 years. And he finally found himself and turned out to be the real deal. You think I wouldn't be happy about that? Of course. You think I wouldn't be happy if Aaron Glenn turned out to be the head coach we've been looking for, basically 60 years? You think I wouldn't be freaking happy about that? Of course, I don't give a damn who the coach is. I don't give a damn who the quarterback is. I want to win. I'm tired of losing. And maybe they're finally off the snide. I'm almost a little upset that they got the bye this week. They got a little momentum now off the win. You almost want to see him play this week. But we're going to find out more about Glenn, too. Generally over the years, the Jets have never done well coming off byes. Never. So I want to see Aaron Glenn have this team. This is another big test for him. I want to see him come off this win, come off the bye, and have his football team freaking ready to play freaking football against the Cleveland Browns. I don't see Jimmy Brown on this team. I don't see Bernie Kosar on this freaking team. Okay? I want to see them go out there and stick it to a bad Cleveland Brown team. There's no reason they can't win this game at home. And that's another big test coming up for Glenn. Having his team ready to play coming off the bye. And they should be healthy. They should have Gardner back for that game. They should have Garrett Wilson back for that game. So they should be 100% healthy. And don't freaking trade Breece Hall. Again, I don't want to hear it. You're not getting anything great for him. You're going to give him away for nothing, and then I got to go watch him play for some contender and turn into Saquon Barkley in a Hall of Famer. I don't want to see it. Try to sign him. You let him finish the year out, okay? He's coming off his best game as a Jet, so let's dump him. No. He's a terrific young player. You keep him. You try to sign him in the offseason, and then you franchise him. The franchise number for running backs is not prohibitive. It's not like paying for a quarterback or paying for a pass rusher. That's not what you're doing here. You franchise them and you keep them on the team and you try to sign them going forward. That's what you do. Because what are you going to do? You're going to dump him and then you're looking for another guy like him? Braylon Allen's hurt, so he's not coming back this year. Doesn't look that way. Isaiah Davis is good. But you want that 1-2 punch of Isaiah Davis and Breece going forward. Don't you? Of course you do. Unbelievable. No way you try. I love when I hear from these non-Jet fans.
Exactly.
And
it's easy for them to say.
Right. I love it. You know what? JJ, I love you. You want to trade Waddle? You looking to get rid of him? He had a big game yesterday. Caught a big touchdown from Tua. You want to dump him? Just talk about him. Right? Jalen Waddle being traded. You're the Giants who are looking for a wide receiver. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You don't want to trade him. Don't be talking about my guy that you want to trade him and you're going to get a juicy package. For what freaking juicy package are you getting? What? What are you going to get? A 4th and a 5th rounder? Get the hell. I don't want that. Give me a break. Juicy package. Come on. What are you going to go trade him to the Chiefs and what? What are you going to get? Tell me what you're going to get for him. What? I mean, what are you going to get their first round draft? You're not getting that. You're going to get McDuffie, their corner? I don't think so. I mean, come on. I'm tired of hearing it. It really makes me nuts when I hear from people that are not Jet fans or these writers who all they want to do is see the Jets lose, talking about maybe trading them or stuff like that. I don't want to freaking hear it. You let them, you don't trade anybody. You keep them, you try to sign them in the offseason, and then you franchise them. And then you go from there if you're the Jets. That's the move you make. Unbelievable. Really. I really makes me nuts when I hear the sports writers who hate the Jets, and I want to give credit to my buddy Brian Costello. Okay, he picked the Jets to win yesterday. When I saw the paper and looked at it, I'm like, was he kidding? I think he had the score. I don't think he had the score line. I didn't think he certainly didn't have 39-38. I think he had it 20-17 or something like that. Something along those lines. But anyway, yeah, so give Costello credit for picking the Jets to win the game. And one other thing before I go, really feel bad about this. Yesterday, the Giants got they lost to the Eagles, but worse than that, they lost Cam Scatterboo to what looked to me like they're calling it a dislocated ankle. It looked like a broken ankle to me. I actually saw the play as I was, going during the Jet commercials of the Jet game, putting the Giants on. Terrible. Jackson Dart was physically upset. Everybody was upset. They were coming over to console him. That's his guy. Dart and Scatterboo have really given the Giants some juice. That was hard. Really terrible to see that. So, all the best to Cam Scatterboo. Let's hope he gets healthy and comes back because he's really amazing. He's a great addition not only to the Giants but to the National Football League. He's a hell of a player. I loved him at Arizona State when I watched him in college, and the Giants got a steal in the 4th round with this kid. And it's really a shame that he's hurt. You got Neighbors out and Scatterboo, and those two guys are a big part of the Giant future going forward. Let's hope Scatterboo comes back next year as good as ever. That was really, really terrible seeing that yesterday. All right, everybody have a great week. We actually have a Victory Monday as Jet fans. Enjoy the week. We're going to be playing a little golf tomorrow, and I will talk to you. In about 2 hours, I'll be on with Jake Asman at 10 o'clock, and then this afternoon at 4 o'clock with Evan and Tiki, and we'll continue to break down the terrific win by the Jets yesterday, 39-38. All the love, everybody. God bless America. We'll talk to you on Friday.